This is a game that used to feature two of nation's best, and they ended up putting on one of the best games in the nation year in and year out. Lately, this rivalry has devolved into one program being vastly superior than the other coming in, and we haven't seen a classic in this game in quite a while. And 2026 should be another brick in that wall, or at least that's what Miami fans are hoping. The Hurricanes are undeniably the best program in the state of Florida as we sit here today. The 2025 national runner-up, the Canes have built an impressive foundation under Mario Cristobal, including one of the nation's top recruiting classes for 2027, with Darian Mensah, Cooper Barkate, Damon Wilson II, Omar Thornton, and other impact talents coming in via the transfer portal. 2026 and beyond looks blindingly bright for the orange and green. And then there's Florida State. The Seminoles enter in shambles again after a second straight losing season under Mike Norvell. 30-plus players hit the portal after a disastrous 2025 season that ended at 5-7 after starting in tremendous fashion with a home upset of Alabama. The embattled FSU head coach earned a reprieve for likely one more season or part of one, and it seems all but certain that he'll need to show progress to keep his job beyond 2026. So, can he slash they? Let's dive in. Despite the crap show of a year, FSU was actually not as bad as you'd think offensively. They moved the ball well and their running game was strong. RB Ousmane Chroma is back, and the Bulldozers should pace the backfield this year with Gavin Sawchuk off to Northwestern. However, Texas transfer Quintrevion Wisner, who eclipsed the 1,000-yard mark for the Longhorns in 2024, might have something to say about that. But the passing game should be, well, at least more interesting. Duche Robinson is back, as is Micah Danzy, who had an ACC best 21.1 YPC. That's a pretty solid 1-2 punch, if new QB Ashton Daniels can get them the ball consistently, something that FSU struggled terribly with in conference play with Thomas Castellanos under center. Daniels comes in with plenty of experience, having appeared in 37 games over his career. But what is FSU getting with him? Last year, he appeared in 4 games, but in his 2 home games against Kentucky and Alabama, he was poor throwing the ball. He was 13-28 for 108 yards and a pick in a 10-3 loss to Kentucky, Black, and 18-39 for 255 yards with a touchdown and a pick in a 27-20 loss to the Crimson Tide. If Daniels is Jekyll/Hyde, FSU could surprise offensively some weeks. But that's a tough way to live for Norvell. And, well, FSU's offensive line, anchored by 2 new transfer tackles, will have to hold up their end as well. This was the unit that Miami saw that was perhaps better than their 5-7 mark would lead you to believe. The Seminoles were adept at slowing down the running game, and they did that against Miami in the Canes' 28-22 win last season. Up front, DT Darrell Jackson is off to the NFL, but the Seminoles have an ascending standout in Miami Norland's sophomore Mandrell Desier. He was named a true freshman All-American after leading the Seminoles last season with 6.5 sacks and 7.5 tackles for loss. FSU also lost contributors like Jason Jenkins, Amari Williams, and James Williams in the portal on their front. Time will see if that was addition by subtraction, or if it was depth that will hurt to lose. Behind them, LB Justin Cryer, Texas, and S. Earl Little, Ohio State, are big losses for a roster that couldn't afford to lose the impact players they did. Early prediction. It's Florida State versus Miami. This game is always going to have a lot of emotion. Miami blasted off early for a 28-3 lead last year, but they learned a thing about themselves when they had to hang on for a 28-22 win. Is this 2026 Miami group a killer? The Hurricanes haven't really put it on Florida State since 45-10 in 2020 at Hard Rock Stadium. I think this Miami offense is going to be special and will hit plenty of big plays, but I don't think they'll completely wipe this FSU defense off the field. Whether FSU keeps up depends in large part on what side of the coin Daniels lands on that day. If it's the good one, Florida State could make this a 34-27 type of game. If it's the bad side, then it could be 41-17. For now, I'll sort of split the difference. Miami 37, Florida State 20.